right, welcome back for another episode of 3-Minute Success. Today, I'm going to unpack how we attack one of the top failure areas that we often see for closely held businesses with multiple partners, and that is around business equity management and business strategy and planning. So the gap that we've really seen over time as new clients come to us and as we just get to know other people in the entrepreneur community is that the role of multi-partner planning is really underappreciated for business equity. So when we're looking at it, we have created our partner aligned process, which has 4 distinct phases to it, and I'll touch on 3 of those today. So the 4 phases are, number 1, business strategy review. What's the business strategy for each of the partners, and what is the strategy overall? Are those compatible? Do we have a clear vision for where we're at today and what the business is trying to do? Phase 2. Business valuation. The key to this is that the business valuation must be believable, which means it can't be junk because then we don't believe it, right? So we often hear things like, oh yeah, businesses in my industry trade for, 4x EBITDA, or, my buddy who has a somewhat similar business sold his for 2 times revenue. So that's what it's worth, right? We're coming up with these kind of rules of thumb to have a general idea about what our business is worth, but we know they're not accurate, and we know they can be off by millions and millions of dollars, and so therefore we don't believe them. And if we don't believe them, we can't actually engage in effective planning, so we just kind of put it off. We have to have a clear business valuation, and that involves working with a CPA, a CVA, somebody who has a basis to be able to determine value. They have the training for it, and they have insight into what those actual transactions are that are occurring for businesses like yours. These are private transactions, and there is data on them, but you have to be able to access it to be able to do these kind of valuations. And then we're going to get into phase 3. So now we have a good understanding of the business strategy. We know what the business is actually worth and hopefully what the levers are that can be pulled to drive that business up over time, drive that business value up over time. And now we want to go into individual partner planning. And so we do this with each of the partners inside the business. We're really looking at goals and priorities for each partner. We're mapping all of their known assets and cash flows and their expected assets and cash flows. And we're taking now the business strategy and the accurate business valuation and mapping that in. And we're reviewing and saying, does the business exit or the business long-term equity management plan as it's written up here actually support the partner, or does it not? So we've now gotten to the end of phase 3, and we know if there are any gaps for that partner. We can see them globally across all of the partners inside the business, and now we know what the gaps look like. And that is the pause point when we go to stage 4, which is business strategy integration, and I'll touch on that next week. So hopefully this got you thinking about your own multi-partner business or somebody that you know with a multi-partner business and how they want to go through their business equity planning. Again, I'll be back with you next week with phase 4, business strategy integration. Thanks.